and I'm one of your hosts, Myra B. King.
And it's your boy Mojo in the building. We got a special guest today with us. You know, ma'am, let them know who you are. Tell the people where you're coming from.
I'm Mya, and I'm from Albany.
Albany. Okay, now what is it like growing up out there in Albany?
It's kind of tough. It's kind of slow, and I mean, it's all right. It's a small city, but you know, I always had big dreams, and it was like pretty slow for me.
So, how has it been during the pandemic? Have you started seeing more people move out there?
Not really. Not really.
Okay.
It's been the same. Nothing's changed.
Well, again, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, Mya is going to share with us a very extremely unique experiences that she experienced as a child over the past several years, and she's here to share that with us. And before we start recording, Mya, you were saying that when you were a child, you used to hear ringing inside of your ear.
I used to hear ringing all the time when I was young. I was about 7, 8, and it eventually stopped, but it took a long time. It used to always something used to always tell me to die, 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 die. And I had to learn Psalm 23. I had to learn that by heart. And I had to learn who God was. And I mean, I just started just relying on the Lord for a lot of stuff at an early age. To keep these demons or whatever it was that was bothering me, I used to just call on the Lord a lot. And it eventually left when I was about 11. It stopped, but a lot of supernatural stuff started happening after that. It was more, I told you about the ringing in my ear. It was about the enemy tried to smother me in my sleep. I went through that. I don't want to say everything just back to back. So
no, you're fine.
We're gonna do this.
No, you're fine.
We can start with the enemy trying to smother you in your sleep. Could you elaborate a bit on that?
I think I was about 12 when that happened. Me and my first cousin, we used to sleep in the same room because my mom was raising her right along with me. And I used to be scared to sleep in the bed a lot because my mom, in the bed by myself, because my mom used to make me sleep in the dark a lot. And I think that's when a lot of stuff started bothering me too, because I used to be so scared to sleep in a dark room, and she used to force me to do it. So I mean, when I slept in the dark room, all kinds of stuff used to just bother me. So I had my cousin, she slept on one side of the room, and I slept on another side of the room. And she used to pee the bed. So I used to make a choice whether I want to let her sleep in my bed or do I want to deal with those demons. So that night, I let her sleep in the bed with me. And I tried to sleep by the wall, and she sleep on the other side by, where the floor is, just in case something stands over me. So I sleep by the wall. But that night, I felt something magical sprinkling on me. And then all of a sudden, my body just started getting stiff. And I had to fight my way out of that. So when I fought my way out of that, I just started fighting her, trying to wake her up. And she didn't feel anything. When I kept trying to get her woke, she wouldn't ever get woke. So I ended up fighting it off myself. But when I woke up that morning, I realized I was fighting something, because my pillow that I was sleeping on, it was away from up under my head, way on the other side of the bed, on the floor. So I knew then that it was trying to smother me with my pillow, with my own pillow. And I ended up fighting that demon off that night.
Wow.
Now, have you ever took a glance, like visually seen anything like that? Like, have you ever laid eyes on the demon or anything like that, or any of these supernatural events that happen?
Well, when I was it was a couple of years ago.
Mm.
I met the devil face to face. Yeah, I did. I met the devil face to face. He put me to sleep. My kids went to school one morning, and usually I get up and just start my day. But that day I just ended up getting real sleepy, and I ended up falling asleep. So when I fell asleep and in the dream, I was downstairs, and you know those lights that you buy from Walmart with the like 3 or 4 different lights, like the long light, it just started getting bright. Then all of a sudden it'll get dim. And my cousin ended up being in the dream. She was there, and we was in the living room. So when she seen the light start getting bright and then it'll get dim, that's when she got scared, and she was like, I'm leaving out of here because there's something going on in here. So I told her, I said, hold on 1 second, don't leave me in here, because I was so scared. So I ran upstairs, and when I ran upstairs to come and get my baby off the bed, because my baby was upstairs asleep, as I leaned over to pick my baby up, and we was about to run out the room and run down the stairs and run behind my cousin, I turned around holding my baby, and I seen the devil standing right in my doorway.
How does he look?
And when he had my mama face. He's very manipulative. He can use anything. I love to work out. So he had my mama face, and he had the prettiest body I can ever. I say he had the body of what's that girl name that was in Kanye's video? Taylor.
Tiana Taylor. Quick show break. We do want to thank you all for tuning into the show. Feel free to browse through our content on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram at Twistedyounginz with a Z. But that's not why we're pausing the show. We're actually pausing the show to let you all know that we are looking for your stories. We would love to hear your testimonies. Did you just recently get sober? Do you have any life-changing events? Did you get abducted by an alien?
Yeah, have you been charged with a crime that you didn't commit? Have you been released from jail off a crime that you didn't commit? Have you ever been in an industry where there's been foul play in the industry or anything like that? Do you have a new business that you're starting and you want to promote your business? Do you have products that you're looking to push to the masses and you want to attract a new audience? Are you interested in merch? Are you looking to start a wholesale? Anything like that? As Myra said, the floodgates are open. We are looking for more interviews, and we're looking for more stories to tell and try to help people get their message out to a broader audience. So if you are interested in it, hit us up at twistedyounginz@gmail.com. Once again, twistedyounginz with a Z at gmail.com. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the page. Make sure you follow all content and be on the lookout for more content on the way. Anima?
That's it.
Appreciate you.
Tiana Taylor, he had her body. It was like a body just like that. And he had my mom's face.
Wow.
And I noticed it was something different about him because he never said much. He just looked. My mom always told me if someone looked under-eyed at you, it's something demonic about him. So that's how he was looking at me. And he was looking under-eyed, like, what's wrong? Why are you looking like that? And as he's saying that, I'm looking at him. And I'm just like, first of all, my mom never been in my room. So that was a no. I was like, no, it's something wrong with this. Then he had the prettiest body ever. And then what really scared me, as I kept trying to study him, I looked down and I seen his legs were so strong that you can see the veins. The veins was popping out with blood in them, out of his legs. So when I seen that, I was just like, oh my God, I know exactly who that is. Now I knew who it was. So I never turned my back to him. So I'm trying to walk out my room with my baby. And he just still looking at me under eye, like, what's wrong? Why are you looking like that? And I ended up getting around him. So I'm walking backwards around the corner to the stairs. And I'm walking, getting ready to hit the first step and walk backwards so I can get away from him. And he noticed that I realized that he was the devil. And all of a sudden, his whole demeanor changed. His whole demeanor changed, and he just swayed back. And he was about to push me down the stairs. And I say to this day, it was the Lord that woke me up.
You mentioned your mom say anytime a person looks under-eyed is demonic. Has your mother experienced some events as well? Or why do you think she said demonic?
Well, she always said about people anyway, if they look under-eyed like a certain way is evil. So that right there really just made me just pay attention to it. Cause I was like, this is the kind of look that my mom was talking about, like when they look under eye, because he was acting so strange. But even though I was in a dream, it was that I was in his world in the dream. And see, that's how people die in their sleep. If they don't survive something like that, that's how they end up going. You know, have you ever heard anybody dying in their sleep?
Yeah.
That they could be in a battle with the enemy. And see, I'm still learning about this stuff. To this day, it's still strange to me. It's still, it is so strange, but I ended up trying to learn more about the Lord because this stuff is real. And when I heard, you know, the young man y'all had in the interview, the stuff that he was saying, you know, it's true. It's real. And people go through different things. It's different things that people go through because that's how the enemy have it set up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm still learning, but it's kind of crazy.
And so how long did these events continue to happen for you?
It still happen now. I see a lot of strange things now. It's like I see a lot of, like, you know how people see live spirits. I see stuff that just shows up. Like this is an example. I was so discouraged one day. It was one night, and I got on my knees to pray. And when I looked on the wall, I seen somebody on their knees praying with me. And it was a time I have my daughter, she's 14. I went in the hospital to have her. That's what I wrote on the story, the short story that I had wrote. When I went in the hospital to have my daughter. And it was just a normal, you know, going to have a normal delivery. And the doctors told me that they was gonna be able to save her, but not me. And what happened was when they told me that, that's when I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was gonna happen or how it was gonna happen. And they started shaving me down, getting ready to rush me into surgery. And they rolled the bed in. And when they rolled the bed in, I called it my deathbed. And right before they can put me in my deathbed, that's when my daughter ended up coming. And to this day, I say she saved my life. She really did save my life.
That's a blessing.
And that's when I really started learning how, you know, God really operating. You really do have to serve him, because if you don't, that's when the enemy gonna really come in more and come stronger. And he's coming at me stronger anyway. He's waiting on me to slip. I've been took in the woods, a gun put to my head. It's a lot, and made it out of that.
So before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that, because I mean, obviously that will put, you know, that projects into what we're talking about now. Back when you said you were a kid, you said you had to learn Psalms. Who taught you that?
I remember my dad was taking me to church, and you know, I knew there was a God somewhere. And then by me being so young, you know, I started picking up my Bible. I learned the Psalms 23 by heart. I had to learn it. And to this day, I still say the Psalm 23, because that right there will save you. Yeah. Psalm 23 is very powerful. It's very powerful.
Absolutely. And what you're talking about, seeing, you know, natural events, supernatural events and stuff like that. A lot of people that I've heard speak about these things, some see it as a curse. Why me? Why do I have to see these things? And then you have other people that look at it as a gift, like, oh, he chose me to see these things for a reason. What is the reason? Spread the message,
encourage other people to speak upon what they're seeing, because there could be other people out there, and obviously there is other people out there in your situation, or maybe even worse, and to hear you speak about it like you heard someone else speak about it and encourage you to, bring your situation to light is what possibly could be your mission. Because at the end of the day, we know the Lord doesn't do anything for no reason. He's using you for a reason, or he's making you go through these trials and tribulations for a reason.
Could I ask you something? I don't mean to cut you off more.
No.
How were you living your life, if you don't mind me asking? Like, do you think there was a reason the Lord came into your life to show you, like for example, some people say like, okay, I was living this way, I was doing bad, I was hanging out in the streets, I was doing this, I was on this drug, and then the Lord came into my life and started showing me things, and I became a believer and I shift my life around. You know what I mean? Did you like?
No, I wasn't doing what the Lord wanted me to do. I think what he wants me to do right now today is find him. He wants me to stay with him now. But at the time, I've been a dancer. I had my kids out of wedlock. And I guess the things that I've done, I had an abortion, and he must have knew that I was better than that, because he have never gave up on me. Everything that I went through, he always brought me out of it. But the stuff, it's just like this Satan always, if he can't get to me. So what he do, he use people against me, or either he'll do things to scare the living heck out of me. And that's what he do. Sometimes I see a lot of, like now I see like faces. I can hang something on my door and I can see a demonic figure just sitting there. Just like last night, me and my daughter I was so tired last night, and I threw my sweater jacket on the door, and I told her to look in the mirror. I said, look at this demon sitting here just looking at me. And I always call them in here to look at it, to make sure that I'm not, losing my mind. And she comes in and she looks and she said, Lord have mercy, he's sitting right here looking right at you. And I'm trying to see another time, because it's so many times. It's so many. Let me see.
Now, have they ever interacted with you, as far as like asking requests or anything like that? Have they ever made any offers to you or anything like that?
No, they haven't done that. But when that devil came to me face to face, that's when I got stronger with the Lord. That's when I really started relying on the Lord. Then I was like, I know I need the Lord, and I think they are waiting, just standing back and waiting on me to slip. But I serve God. I serve God, like, and I just serve God. It's so much. I just. Yeah. It's like I can show y'all pictures. I take pictures of the stuff that I see as much as I think people will understand. Mm-hmm. But mostly everything that I see, I try to take a picture of it. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of pictures in my phone of the things that I have seen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just like one night, my kids used to always ask me during the day. They used to always be like, Mama, I'm gonna sleep in the bed with you tonight. They used to race. So my daughter asked me earlier that day. And that night she ended up in the bed with me. So everybody else had to sleep around my bed. That's how much my kids love me. Mm-hmm. And that night I was so tired after we had watched the movie, and I left my closet door open. So I turned the light off and we was just laying down sleeping. I watch everything. I always stare and look at everything. So that night I looked and I seen Jesus in my closet. And I told my daughter, I said, Lexus, my daughter whines a lot. At the time she was a whiner. So she had went to sleep, and I was like, Lexus, wake up. I said, I need you to see this. And she finally got up and I said, I'm gonna put my head up under the cover. And I want you to look at my closet and tell me what it is you see. And she leaned up over me. And when she looked in the closet, she said, oh my God, Mother, it's Jesus.
Wow.
He was in my closet.
What did he look like?
first of all, you're gonna see the bright light and the figure, but it's not about when you see him, it's about when his presence, he make his presence known.
Mm.
And he was in the closet, and it was very light, very, very, very bright. So it's not like you just gonna see his face. You're gonna know, because he's gonna control your mind. And you're gonna feel a sense of peace that you don't feel on earth. Just say, for instance, if you're not working hard every day and you don't have to worry about bills, all that goes away.
That's what I was just about to ask you. When you saw him in your closet and when you realized who it was, did you feel like a sense of relief? Did you feel protected?
And the light was so bright.
Mm.
It was too bright to just be in my closet, because I knew it wasn't a light in there. Wasn't.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to ask you after this. Could you show like some pictures?
How can I go in my phone?
I mean, you own your phone, so you can't go in it right now. But after,
okay, well, that's
after we're done, no. After we're done, though, we would love for you to send some pictures over so we can go through them. But I do got a question for you. So we talked earlier, and you mentioned about being it. How do you get in a situation where you're in the woods and someone has a gun to your head?
One night I was home, me and my kids, and we was getting ready to go to bed. And a friend of mine that lived in my neighborhood, she came to my house, and she asked me to walk with her to get her some more to drink. And I'm just like, what is this girl doing up this time of night? Want to go and get something to drink for? But I didn't want to go with her. So I was just like, I don't want her walking by herself at the same time. So when we end up going, and it was just like, across the complex where we live at. It wasn't far. But that's something that she was doing. She wanted to walk. She was drinking, feeling good. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with her. So when I ended up going with her, she was walking out of the place where she went. And I was at the end of the road waiting on her. And as she was walking out with the open container, the police started coming. So therefore that made us was like, okay, somebody in the neighborhood, we need to try to get a ride or something. And somebody ended up coming by, and she asked, could we get a ride to our apartment complex? So when we did that, we ended up getting in the car, and I was just like, okay, he gonna take us home. And then him and her started talking, and he was like, well, I just left a cookout with, a couple of my coworkers. And by her want to keep drinking, she was just like, well, okay, we can go over there and we can, have a few drinks. And I'm just like, oh my God, this girl want to go from coming to get me to going to get her something to drink. And we going back home to she want to run over here and get something. She just wanted to just move that night. And I was totally innocent that night because I was getting ready to go to bed with my kids. So we ended up riding where she was telling us to go, where they was going a certain way. What I knew where they was going, it was like a back road to the spot they was going. And I was just like, okay, we going there. But he ended up going deeper in the woods. He was, instead of going straight, he ended up just turning off and going deeper in the woods. And I'm sitting in the front because I was already ready to go home. So I was sitting in the front seat. She was in the back. And then all of a sudden he just pulled out a gun and he was just like, take off all your clothes. And he snatched my cell phone. And I'm like, my life flashed before me. I'm telling you, I was so scared. I was like, I'm sitting up here going with her somewhere. And I end up, I'm just seeing my life just gone. My kids at home, and I'm just like, how am I gonna make it out of this? All of a sudden I just blanked out. I didn't blank out, but it's like something took over me. And when I was so shook up and I end up coming back, before he can even do anything else, he just said, here go your clothes, here go your phone. And I swear on my mama, I'd never drink again.
So he He took y'all out there in the woods, put gun on you, made you strip, took your phones just to, give it back to you and say, here it go. You think he was, trying to play a prank or some shit, or do you, excuse my language, or something like that? Or do you think he was doing something like more along the lines of trying to like groom you or let you know, hey, I could have took you out here and did something strange to you?
No, it was more of he felt more of like he was taking advantage of, two females, and he was a male. That's what I felt like. I felt like he took it a little too far. He probably was drinking, and the enemy don't care who he used, so he had to use him. At the time. He was using him at the time. He had to. And the power of the Lord was so strong in me that I'm telling you, God is my witness. He never got a chance to touch me nor her. And I looked at the corner of my eye and I seen her. She was about to open the door and jump out, and I gave her a look like, don't, calm down. I couldn't speak because he was in so much of rage, but I'm looking at her like, no. Then all of a sudden, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know, I was stuck. I was like, okay, so this is how women die. This is, you stuck in stuff like this. And it was God. I knew it was God.
And that is a blessing.
Yeah,
that's a blessing.
Absolutely. Did he take you guys back, or take you guys originally where you were going, or did he take you back where y'all came?
He took us back. He took us back. He took us back. He never got a chance to touch neither one of us. I don't know. It had to been God. I'm telling you, it was God. It was God.
Did y'all call the police?
Well, I was so scared, and when we got dropped off, he was still standing around, and it was so many apartments where I live at. So all I wanted to do was just get away and run home. And I was like, well, he wouldn't know what apartment I went in anyway. So I just left the situation alone. But I always knew that it was God.
Well, that's a blessing. I mean, to be alive today to even.
I always knew.
It's truly a blessing.
Absolutely.
And that's why we love hearing these testimonies, because like you said, everyone goes through their own trial, tribulations, their own experiences with the Lord, spiritual battles within. And those testimonies is what can change people's lives, And I definitely we appreciate you for opening up to us, because we know that that's not an easy thing to do.
No,
so
not at all.
You continue to stay prayed up, continue serving the Lord, as us all. We've all started our spiritual journey, seeking Jesus, growing closer to our faith, knowing the word, knowing how you can secure a spot in the kingdom. And it's not an easy task, but it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good, and you see a lot that's going on in the world, and how a lot of people just don't believe, or they believe it's a fairy tale. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's why it was kind of hard for me to just start out talking, because I'm, I have tried to tell this story so many times, like the stuff that I've been through. But when people are non-believers, it's just like they just like that didn't really happen. That didn't happen to her. She just talking out. She just talking. But this stuff really happened, and the only thing that was more important to me was that I know that it was God.
Yeah. I want to ask you one more thing before we get out of here. What has been the scariest thing that you've seen? That I know you say you've seen demons, face on your door. What has been something that you literally just was in totally fear for your life for?
Going to sleep, waking up and seeing aliens on my ceiling.
Wow.
How you know they were aliens?
Because I seen it was about 4 of them in the wetsuits. Those, have you seen those black wetsuits? That it was about 4 of those, And then I seen the one with the bumblebee eyes was coming down on me on the sofa while I was on the sofa. I moved out of my room because I was seeing so many. Every time I look, I'm seeing something that was so scary. Just like to this day, I still see the I'm gonna show you the pictures of the things that I seen.
Wow.
But just like right now, is one sitting right here looking at me while I'm talking. It's
I got two questions before we get out of here. One, have your kids ever seen anything? Like, have they ever come to you like, hey, mom, such as, I've seen this or this happened? Have they ever come to you with one of those situations yet? Or hopefully it never
they
happened?
see them all the time. They see them too. My daughter, she's left here with me, so she sees a lot too, and I show her a lot.
Okay. Have you ever had any thought about having anyone come out to the house, or as like a priest or preacher or anything like that?
I did, but like I said, when I started asking people, like, I want to know, why do I see those things? Because like I said, I'm still learning. I don't know, but I asked God one day. I was like, God, who am I? Why am I here? Am I here to just, suffer? And this stuff just bothering me. And I was going crazy on the inside. My spirit was still, but my soul was going crazy. And all of a sudden, he just calmed both down. And when he calmed me down, and all I can see, like, just written angel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to have faith, faith, faith will get you over those mountains that doubt helps build. So, what you're talking about is a beautiful story. I'm glad you shared it with us. I'm glad people will get to hear this, and other people are probably here. And like I said, hopefully be encouraged to follow some sort of faith to help them go through their battles. Because based off what you said, there's no getting this far without God, and it probably won't get no further without him.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
That's true.
I have to serve him every second and a minute. I have to serve him, and I have to do right by him, because if I don't, Satan, he have saved me so many times from Satan, and he have showed me that he's there with me. So I cannot slip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I cannot slip, not one time, because he's waiting.
Mm-mm.
And I woke up in the middle of the night one time, and my feet was on fire. I'm like,
wow.
What is? And I never understood until I heard someone else's story, saying that they felt Satan touching them, and his nails was like fire. So I'm like, okay, was that what happened to me? Because like I said, when I talk to people about it, they don't understand this stuff. So it's just like I'm making it up, and I'm not. Like I said, I'm gonna send you the pictures, and I'm gonna show you the pictures of most of the stuff that I've seen, and you'll understand, more of where I'm coming from, because it's my first time ever doing an interview like this. So it's a lot that I probably skipped over.
Definitely thank you. Hey, we believe you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We definitely believe you. Like I said, we're I know it takes courage to talk about, situations like this. Not everyone will be comfortable doing that. You know what I mean?
I'm glad to talk to y'all about it, and I wish it was something that y'all could do to help me. Like why I see the things I see, and especially when the ringing in my ear. Now that right there, I still think about that when I was a little girl, like something Ashley used to tell me to die. I used to hear die, 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 just nonstop. It wanted me to die so bad. And it just die. I used to rub my ears when I was a little girl so that I wouldn't hear it. And then when I learned the Psalm 23, that's when it just went away. Yeah. And I sometimes I'd be like, well, okay, if I went through that when I was young, I hope I don't end up hearing it while I'm grown, But so far I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't think it's much that we can tell you to be able to help you, but I think the only thing for sure that everybody can do is continue to seek the security and of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is the Messiah. You know, He is the way. He is the only way. You know what I mean? And
yeah, the only thing,
you know.
yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, there's nothing we can do, but I mean, even like you said earlier, you know, you try to speak it to a preacher, but he's not gonna, you know, help you figure out who you are. You're absolutely right. No one's gonna help you figure out who you are, but God. Only God can do that. Because he can, and he can't even help. All he can do is point you to the direction. You could pray for strength, but you know, you have to be willing to get it.
And as you also stated, continue to serve him, continue to walk
Absolutely.
in his light, his righteousness, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, continue to serve him.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Find out about you, the better you off you are.
It's scary. I can tell you that much. When if anybody, you know, experience what I experienced, it is very scary. Very scary. I'm talking about the things that you can see. I mean, they show up anytime. And I see like still spirits. They're not live spirits. Like some people have seen spirits just walking through their house. Now I pray that it don't get that bad with me, but I see a lot of evil stuff. And I just seen something like a couple of nights ago, and I seen a picture. Where did I see that picture? Was it on something on YouTube? I don't know. It was somewhere, but it was telling me it was the light of love. But the same picture that I seen is the light of love, I see it behind my bed. And I'm just like, okay, is that God? Is that God? Because it I don't think it's evil because it brings peace. But I see both. I see God and evil stuff.
May
I
God
see both.
may God continue to bless you and be with you and your family in every
Absolutely.
single way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were put here for a reason,
you know,
whether, you know, it could get rough and you may not know what you're here for, why you know, go through the things that you go through, but everybody was put here for a reason. That's why I said, you know, dig deeper into yourself, figure out who you are. You figure out who you are, you'll find that answer that you're looking for as far as who you are and what is your purpose here. Because at the end of the day, you do have one. And it's not.
But continue to just to grow closer to your faith.
Yeah,
everything
absolutely.
else will fall into place.
Yeah, like I said, that faith will get you places that nothing else will.
That's the key.
Yes, that's what I do. I just, you know, continue to, and it's even worse when I just rely on God all the time. And I mean, I don't know, because of, you know, my past, by me being a dancer back in my days and stuff like that. And I don't know, but I really do trust God. I talk about God. I can't. When I had a seizure one time, my son was a week old, and I ended up having a seizure. And when I had the seizure, I went in a coma. And when I was in a coma, I didn't go in. I didn't see God. I didn't see the devil that time. But when I woke up, it was something different about me. Like the music I was listening to, I couldn't hear it no more. All I could think about was Jesus. Just like now. I mean, I don't really too much like a lot of, you know, stuff that's going on. I'm not gonna be the one to judge no music or how people make their money and stuff. So I'm not gonna really say that, but I rely on the gospel music, Christian music that can really just teach me how to continue doing right.
Yeah, as you should. And that's
amen.
Like she said, that's all you need to do is just focus on him. He'll focus on you.
Amen.
That's the best way to be, you know.
Well,
and it's a beautiful story, you know.
It is.
And it's a blessing.
It's a scary story too. I'm gonna keep it. It's beautiful. It's scary in one, because I couldn't imagine going through stuff like that. You know what I mean? Seeing it's God give his give the strongest battles to his toughest soldiers.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's one more story. This is how I know that God was with me too. One night I was home, and a friend of mine just knocked on the door from nowhere, and it was a man, and he was like, "Can I just come in for a second? And I need to get away from the world." And I'm just like, okay, you know, and the look in his eyes, you know, I felt this pain. So I was just like, okay, just come in and you can just lay on my sofa and just relax your mind. I just told him, I mean, this is the God honest truth. And I ended up going to the bathroom. I said, because I had a bathroom downstairs, and I was like, I'm gonna go, you lay right here, and I'm gonna go in the bathroom, and I'm gonna sit down and read my Bible. And I went in the bathroom and I put my Bible on my lap and I started reading my Bible. And all of a sudden, a voice came to me, and he was like, tell my brother that he's on the right track and that he's doing a wonderful job. You know, he wanted me to tell him what he said and encourage him. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna tell him that, because he's gonna really think I'm crazy. You know, and I really didn't want to tell him. I told him, I denied it. I said, no, I'm not gonna tell him. He left. And when he left, he came back with the Lord. And the Lord told me that if I don't go and tell his brother what he said, he was gonna reveal him to me. And I ran out the bathroom and I went, you know, it took me probably about 5 minutes to tell him, because I didn't want him to think I was crazy. But when I did tell him the story, he was like, you know, I know you're telling the truth, because I've been feeling like this all week, like I haven't been doing enough here on earth. And I felt really bad. To where it just got to me. And he was like, well, you are telling the truth. And his brother had died, I say about 2 or 3 years before that. And he knew that he knew that it was true. So I felt a little relieved, but I was like, that is how powerful God is, because this man told me to give his brother a message, and I denied him. I said, I'm I'm reading my Bible, you know, trying to find the best way to encourage him and motivate him. That's the most I can do. And then he was like, oh, he left. And when he left, he came back with the Lord, and the Lord told me if I don't tell him, he's gonna reveal that man to me. And God know I'm scared of spirits. I'm so scared of lying spirit. I have went to sleep and woke up and the spirit was standing over me before. That's another story. Yeah, it's so much. I'm telling y'all, it's so much. I don't sleep in the dark. My kids sleep in the bed with me. I'm gonna be honest. I be scared behind me. This thing behind me, I can show you this right here. Well, I don't know if it's meant for y'all eyes to see it, but this African woman right here behind me, I bought this picture, and on the side of her is a demon man right here. Because actually I have it covered, but I uncovered it for this interview, but he's right there. And I'm gonna send a closer picture so you can see him. You will see him in the picture that I seen. And he just painted in the picture. I bought the picture like a normal picture, and he's just painted in it.
Wow. Wow.
You know, this stuff right here is what we need to hear. You know, people need to hear these stories. They need to know that this is going on in this world, you know. There are people like you who are actually out here dealing with stuff. And even with the conversation like you were talking about, you know, the Lord said, hey, you know, go tell him, or I'll reveal him to you. You basically saved a life. Like he said, he felt like he wasn't doing enough. He could have been on his last, you know, he could have been on the end of it, on the edge.
And he came to me, and
yeah,
I didn't really know what to do. I just picked up my Bible.
You was given information what to do, though. That's the point.
And I think those spirits that I see, when I was younger, my mom used to take me to my aunt's house, and we used to ride like it was a ranch full of horses on each side of the road. That, you know, the dirt road you ride through, and it was a ranch on each side. But the houses, as you ride through the ranch, the houses are way on the back. And me and my aunt, my uncle, we all slept in the same one big room. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I seen a horse figure on the wall. And I'm like, how could I see a horse figure on the wall when the ranch is like way up in the front of when you first driving through? Ain't no way I can see a horse on the wall. So that was like the first time I really noticed that that's my gift, is seeing like spirits, like just showing up anywhere. I see people watching me. It is my son took a picture. I took a picture of my son. I got up to use the bathroom one morning. And when I came back to the room, my son was on his knees praying. Right beside him was something right there, praying on the knee, praying with him on the knees. I'm gonna send that picture. I don't see a little baby laying beside me. I have this refrigerator right here. This refrigerator right here, I was sitting on my bed facing this refrigerator, and I can only see the spirit through this refrigerator. But if I look beside me, I couldn't see it. But when I looked, it was the baby sitting next to me.
Wow.
But I couldn't see it next to me, but I can see it through the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so much. Just like this figure in front of me is just sitting there just listening. I don't know what it is, but it is.
I mean,
it happens to me.
Keep your faith alive, continue to keep your faith alive, improve on your connection with God, keep that connection strong. Like you said, don't worship him every morning or every second of the day. He gives us life every second. He can take us out of here whenever he feels like it. So he's giving you an opportunity to stay around. He's obviously giving you a chance. He's blessing you to keep, carrying you through your battle. So it's for a reason. I say keep the faith, keep strong, and keep going through it, because you got to go through it to get to it. Wherever destination he's taking you to, clearly needs you to go there.
I just want to know why. I just hope it's somebody that can just tell me why I see this stuff and how.
Hopefully,
this started when I was a kid.
You'll know.
It started when I was a kid. It started when I was young. I was a young, innocent child having something to tell me to die in my ear. That it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
It started long time ago. It just, this stuff follows me all the time. And I be scared of it. I be scared of the stuff. I seen Jesus on my curtains shielding me from a wolf. I seen that. Like, I don't know what message he was giving me, but I've seen him just holding his hand in front of a wolf. One morning, my kids their room was black Barbie. And it was a lot of black Barbie heads on the sheet that I had, trying to cover up more spirits. So I put that sheet up. So I was like, I'm gonna cover that up so I wouldn't see that. And every last one of those black Barbies turned into the devil head. I'm making a long story short, but it's just, I be scared. I see a lot of eyes watching me all the time. I see scary stuff. It scares me. But I make sure I get verification for it. And I just don't know why they watch me, why they be around me.
Do you think you may be cursed or something?
No. It had to been when I was younger, because that's when it started. Everything, I'm telling you, all this stuff is just like it I can see on more, but I know that the power of the Lord is with me. That's who saved me, because they can only watch me. They cannot attack me. They can't do any of that stuff. That's what my daughter asked me the other day. She was like, well, Mama, do you think that sooner than later they're gonna start like bothering you? I was like, well, I can feel I have the power of the Lord over me. So therefore they just probably waiting on me to just like not be with God. Like don't serve. If I don't serve God and I start doing like bad stuff again, it's probably gonna get more worse.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else in your family experienced this?
The most I've heard was one of my, I look at her like an aunt, but she's really my cousin. She's just older. She told me one time she seen an angel standing in her living room, and I mean she never went no farther, but it didn't help me none because I was just like, how can I believe you? You know, she never really just went no farther with that. I mean, I've seen angels I seen an angel in my room before. Yeah, I seen that. I took a picture of it, but the phone that I have, I'm still holding on to that phone because I'm going to get it fixed just to get that picture out of it. So that's coming. But I do have a lot of pictures that I want y'all to see of the stuff that I see.
Absolutely. I want you to
I try to take as many as I can if they don't scare me so bad.
Yeah, send them over. And yeah, again, we'll appreciate this. And man, we all just need to continue to serve God, and may God continue to bless you and your family.
Absolutely.
Continue to watch over you all, keep you all safe.
I mean, I'm shaking just sitting here just telling y'all this story because I'm like, I hope they don't try to do nothing else because I'm sharing this, because I always kept it to myself. Like,
well, hopefully with you sharing it, you opening up, you showing them, hey, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're opening up, you're not keeping everything held within, and that may help. Yeah. That may help, showing your strength. That may help.
Yeah, also may show the Lord that you may be ready, So we're ready.
I will say a prayer for you. I will say a prayer for you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I will say a prayer for you and your family.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all.
I hope that you continue to keep the fight alive. Hopefully like I said, when you come out on the other end of this thing, hopefully you'll see what it was all for,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I really do want to know. I really and truly hope someone can just tell me this part, because I mean, a lot of people have stories, but I'm just like, okay, they went to hell, they went to heaven. I understand that, and I really do believe in that, but tell me why is this stuff following me? Why can't I just live a normal life? I can't. It's hard. I just want to just know the Lord. I have to know the Lord to live on this earth. I have to have a great relationship with the Lord. And because of the stuff that I went through, and he proved to me that he brought me out of it, it's make me love him. Yeah. And I do believe in him, and I know he's real.
Absolutely. Amen. Yeah. Amen. Well, LaFanya, you continue to have a great day, a great, blissful, God-filled day. And we're definitely going to stay in touch with you. We'll keep you posted, and send over the pictures so we can take a look at them for sure. We'll love to take a look at it.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah. You can let it now.
This email.
Yep. All right. You have a good day. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, y'all too. I'm gonna send them right now.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a beautiful day.
Okay, y'all too.